Hello and welcome to another episode of Vintage Japanese Electric Guitar Pickup Shootout. In this episode we're going to take a look at four more Japanese vintage guitars and listen to their pickups and compare and contrast through one amplifier. Today's amplifier is going to be a little bit different. We're going to use a Japanese amplifier as well. This is going to be a Univox amp 212. But our first guitar is going to be a Kawai made S180. This is a Biltmore labeled version. You see these also labeled Taisco. I believe this is about a 1964 according to one source, although it could be a little bit later because of the Taisco connection. They didn't merge until about 1967, I think, so I'm not sure why there would be it's kind of a mystery to me, at least, why there would be a Taisco version of this guitar with a different model number. I think the model number on that one's SS4L. Yeah, a bit of a mystery there, but this is the guitar that was made famous by Hound Taylor, the six-finger bluesman, and Killer Tone, which we will see in a bit. This one has a couple changed parts. The bar is not original. I actually had to modify this bar collar in order to make this work, and also changed the knobs, a couple little things like that. I intonated it though properly, and this has had a lot of work to get it correct. So, but it's ready to go. We're going to test it out. The next one we're going to look at is a 1966 Fujigen Gakki made Greco guitar. This one has a cool German carved body, red burst, a lot of chrome on the body, also real funky headstock. I did change the bridge on this one to a compensated Tune-O-Matic style, Gibson style bridge, which is a vast improvement, frankly, because the original one probably would have been some straight across thing with no compensation whatsoever. So this is a real step up. Also, this isn't the original bar. I think the original bar would have been a little bit longer, but this one is doing the job. And this is a great, real smooth vibrato system on this thing too. But the pickups that are in this one are have the white inserts and the chrome surrounds, and we'll get a little bit of closer look at those in a bit. The next guitar we're going to look at, this is a 1972 Sakai made Sears-Roebuck guitar. In 1972, Sears and Roebuck stopped using the Silvertone name and went with just the SR logo on all of their guitar equipment. Silvertone had been a name since the late 1930s, and for whatever reason, I guess Sears felt like it had been long enough, so they went with this. But the guitars that they were selling at this time, although they are mainly copies, at this point, they are still great guitars. The pickups that are in this one sound particularly good as well. They're nice and hot, got a lot of punch and a lot of clarity to them. But these are, and we'll get a little closer to look at these as well, but they have adjustable pole pieces, and they have completely black surrounds on the pickups. This one is a 1968 Norma labeled Sakai made guitar. Norma was a brand of the Strum and Drum Company, which was a Chicago-based distribution company. They also bought the national name from the Valco Corporation after they went, or around the time they went defunct in 1968. So you'll often see catalogs with both the Norma brand and national brands sold side by side. But this is a typical body shape for Norma guitars. They actually had a couple very typical shapes, and it's kind of punctuated by this sort of chevron V-shaped tail end back here. There's one other different model with slightly different horns. And actually, I've owned one of those before as well, and they're cool guitars. This one is set up perfectly now. It's plays really nice, and it has these gold foil pickups. We're going to get a listen to. These are chrome on the top with adjustable pole pieces, and of course they have 2 slits on the bottom, and then 6 of the little holes with the gold foil underneath. So yeah, let's take a listen to all these guitars through that Univox. Okay, what I'm going to attempt to do is just run through all of these guitars in one go, starting with the Greco here. We'll get a better look at that German carve around the edges of the guitar. You can see there the contours. Another commonality with all four of these guitars is they all four have vibratos, and we'll check those out too. But this is the Fujigen Gakki Greco. This one has the white pickups, or well, they have a white plastic center, chrome around the edge, and these have adjustable pole pieces. Pickup. It is a little bit microphonic. If you get too close to the amp, you will squeal. But you know, as long as you're far enough away from the amp, this seems to be okay, at least with this this volume level. You know, if you were to wax pot this, of course, you could take it on probably any stage in the world and you'd be fine. So. Tremolo system. This is a very smooth tremolo system. It seems to stay in tune fairly well. Doesn't go out on you very easily. Of course, you don't want to dive bomb or anything with it, but it does seem to be a very smooth tremolo. But anyway, that is the bridge pickup. Let's go to the neck. Sometimes these switches are a little bit weird too. You have to switch them on and off a few times to kind of get the crud off of them, and sometimes they'll be in a slightly faulty position, so you gotta switch them again. But that's just kind of par for the course for these. I haven't found a good way to really ensure that these switches work 100% of the time without just changing them to something to a brand new switch, because once those contacts get they're not corroded, but once they get the little bit of patina on them, it's really hard to get in there and clean those. I've sprayed all these electronics now, and sometimes that still these switches don't work when you switch them in a position. But that's just kind of the way it is. Neck position once again. Position. Here are both together. 1966 Fujigen Gakki made Greco guitar. I'm just going to turn the volume on the amp all the way down while we're changing guitars here. I'm not going to change video clips. We're just going to do it all in one take. The second one here again is this Norma made by Sakai. This is about a 1968 model guitar. This is a EG405-2. Not sure if you can see that or not, but there is the model and serial number info, which is barely clinging on for dear life. This one also has a really nice tremolo system on it, which we'll test out here. We'll start out with the bridge position pickup on. We'll check for microphonics here. This is microphonic, as you might expect. Good output though. Bridge position with the tone all the way down. Here's our neck position. Here are both neck and bridge positions. Really nice, crisp sound there. Sakai, the Norma labeled Sakai. Now let's go with the later Sears-Roebuck Sakai. This was made for again for sale in Sears. It's labeled SR on the headstock, which was a change for Sears. This one has the black plastic covered pickups, no chrome, but the pole pieces are still adjustable. We're going to try it first within the bridge position. Not quite as microphonic on the pickups as a result of, I think the plastic cover has a lot to do with it. It's actually not as resonant as the metal, so it doesn't help out the microphonics. Here is the neck position. Actually, I'm sorry, I had that backwards. That earlier one was the neck position. These switches are the backwards position from the Greco. I was confused because these actually are on when they're in the down position. So, pardon me, the former pickup was the neck pickup. So yeah, these are somewhat more microphonic than I thought. I was actually tapping on the wrong pickup earlier, so forgive me for that. Let's check on the neck. So yeah, there's the microphonics on the neck pickup. So yeah, they're a little bit more microphonic than I thought, but still I think the plastic does help over having the chrome covers. Here are both pickups together. Again, with that nice quack from both pickups together, kind of like on the Norma. Watch it. With my playing style, I tend to grab on the strings and pop them quite a bit, and that's one of the things that can happen when you have this style of bridge. They can actually pop out of the little saddles. So that's one thing. If you have a style like mine, it's pretty aggressive, and you use your fingers a lot to pop the strings. That sort of thing can happen. I've noticed a lot on some of the Japanese guitars. So you either got to be careful with that, or you got to kind of plan ahead and change your bridge. But anyway, that is a 1972 Sears-Roebuck made by Sakai. Now let's go to our fourth and final guitar. This one is was used and made famous by Hound Taylor, the six-fingered blues man. This is an S180. Teisco also made this model as an SS4L. Teisco didn't make the model. I think it was actually just labeled Teisco. They may have purchased it from Kawai. I'm a little bit shady on the dating. The dating of 1964 comes from the Japanese guitar book written by Frank Myers, and I don't know if it's correct or not. I would have guessed a little closer to 67 on this guitar, simply because if it's also labeled Teisco, that tells me they might have had a relationship going on, and they didn't really have a relationship until I think 67-ish, so I don't know. I would have guessed about 67, but in his book he has 64, so I'm kind of deferring to him on that. But anyway, this is the Hound Taylor model. I don't know any Hound Taylor songs, but maybe I could play you some blues here. And we're using the bridge pickup alone. Now we're going to go to the next pickup alone. Also uses the Teisco version of this model, so if you think you've seen this guitar before, it may have also been from him. Here is the third pickup alone. Middle two pickups together. And these two pickups together. These three pickups together. Finally, all pickups together. Thick sound from all pickups together, and frankly I think I like either two pickups at a time or just one at a time better than doing 3 or 4 together. So, but that is a very cool set of guitars. Again, this one was labeled Biltmore. Thanks for sticking around for this episode. Be sure to subscribe down here somewhere to see future episodes of this and other subjects. And thanks a lot. Have a great day.